Welcome back to another video, and today we got our Week 16 NFL game predictions. We're doing these videos every single Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe, turn on the noties if you are new. We also do college basketball on Mondays, college football on Tuesdays, and NBA every single Thursday, so if any of that interests you, make sure you get down there and subscribe and turn on the noties. But let's go ahead and jump right in to the standings. I'm actually in first. I got a 6-game lead now. Last week I want to say it was down to like 2 maybe it was 4. It's been pretty close for a while. I'm starting to pull away a little bit, so 6-game lead over second place. And I say this every week. This is the 5th year me and my friends have done this. I've won every single year so far, so all 4 years. I'm looking to win 5 years in a row. The guy in 4th place actually I think he went like 13-3 last week, so he's making a little bit of a push at 3rd place, and obviously 2nd and 3rd place is very close right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in to the Thursday night game, and this is a good one. Seattle is actually favored by 1.5 in this game. Surprised that nobody's on them here. They're the home team. Rams likely going to be without Devontae Adams. I think Puka was beat up in that game as well. It feels like a pretty nice spot to pick Seattle here. Maybe get one up on everyone else. I really considered it, but honestly, and these are two great teams. When you get two good teams like this in the same division, so they play twice, you typically think the home team wins. They kind of split just because they are so good. It's hard to beat a good team twice. And honestly, the first time around, the Rams, Seattle turned it over. I think Darnold threw like 4 picks, and the Seahawks still almost won that game. The Rams did not play very well against the Seattle defense. Without Devontae Adams, it may be even worse. But Seattle's offense just doesn't look right now. You wonder if some NFL teams maybe have figured out their offense. JSN has kind of been a little lackluster the past few weeks. Sam Darnold as well. Like, I don't know. Their offense is starting to show some question marks, which it really wasn't for a while until only the past few weeks, pretty recently. So that makes me a little concerned. I think the Rams have enough weapons offensively to make up for Devontae Adams, but I think the Seahawks could very well win this game. At home in the short week, two great teams. The Rams won the first time around. Do we really think Darnold throws 4 picks again? I don't know, maybe. Like, the Rams defense did give him struggles the first time. Maybe it's kind of similar, but 4 picks? I don't know about that. Unless I'm remembering incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure Darnold threw 4 picks against the Rams the first time around. I don't think he does that again, so maybe the Seahawks just win based off of that, but I don't know. Like, the Rams defense still gave him a lot of trouble. I don't love picking the Rams here. I'll be pretty straightforward. There's a lot of 50-50 games, a lot of very important games this week. We actually have 2 Saturday games here. Eagles-Commanders. I'm actually surprised nobody did it, taking Washington here at home. These two teams always play each other very close. I don't know what it is. Something about these two teams, though. The Washington always plays the Eagles very close. Sometimes they even win. That wasn't the case in the NFC Championship game last year, but these are two very different teams. Both teams, I would say, are definitely worse this season. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. The Commanders made the NFC Championship game. The Commanders are 4-10 right now. Like, it's really hard for me to pick them. I think this game could be close, though. Eagles minus 6.5 right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington does cover that. I think they could. Jane Daniels has been ruled out for the remainder of the season, so that is unfortunate. But Marcus Mariota has shown to be a capable starter at certain points in the season. So I think Washington could very well win this game at home, but it's really hard for me to go against this Eagles defense. They just shut out the Raiders. I do think Washington's offense is much better than the Raiders, but this Eagles defense is playing lights out right now. And honestly, like, the offense is still struggling, but against this Washington defense, it just doesn't really concern me all that much. I think the Eagles defense probably wins them this game, though. Yeah, so I'll take the Eagles here. A little too risky for my liking. Packers-Bears, this is a fun one. Both these teams are playing for first in the NFC North again. We got this game 2 weeks ago in Lambeau. The Packers won, I think it was 28-21, something like that. That sounds about right. The Packers win that game. The Bears played very bad in the first half of that game. Caleb only had like 9 passing yards in the first half. Do I expect that to happen again? Probably not. I think the Bears, with having played them so recently and with the adjustments they made at halftime and really got them back in that game, almost had a chance to force overtime. They were right there in Soldier Field. Green Bay still favored by 1.5. I think the Bears get it done, though. I was concerned with the Bears' injuries. Rome Odunze, I would assume, is not going to play. It sounds like the foot injury is kind of a serious injury. Luther Burden has not been practicing, so we'll see what happens. I think Cole Kmet was a little beat up last week, but I think he's playing. I think the Bears, DJ Moore has kind of been getting going recently. Zacchaeus has been all right. Obviously, Loveland and Kmet, the tight ends. Like, I think they have enough weapons offensively to make up for it. Obviously, Swift and Monungai are playing amazing in the run game. And it's kind of the same thing with the Packers. Like, Christian Watson, I don't think he's going to play. Obviously, Micah Parsons is out for the year. Prayers up to him, tore his ACL. Like, the Bears have been dealing with injuries on the defense all season long, and they've really, some guys, especially Nashawn Wright, have really stepped it up, some of the linebackers as well. But they're kind of getting some of their guys back now. Jalen Johnson officially back in. Sounds like Tremaine Edmonds could be good to go here. And the Packers as well. Like, I'm talking about the Bears injuries. The Packers have a lot of injuries as well. I think it kind of cancels out. I think the Bears get them. I think this is... I was talking about the Rams-Seahawks potentially splitting. Again, wouldn't be shocked if Seattle did it. I was very close to picking that one. I feel pretty confident in this Bears pick. I think they get it done at home. Keep control of first place in the NFC North. And yeah, I think the Bears do it. I think they get their revenge here. Big rivalry game. Saturday night, it's going to be very fun there in Soldier Field. Packers favored by 1.5, so essentially a pick'em game. I'm taking Chicago to win. Bills-Browns, this is what I would consider not a pick'em game. The Bills are favored by 10 here. I think the Bills likely cover that. Like, the Browns put up 3 points against the Bears defense last week. Now, the Bills' defense really hasn't been all that great this season, so the Browns could potentially put up some more points. They did put up almost 30 against the Titans. I just think the Bills, Josh Allen, like, the Bears put up, what was it, 28 points, 31 points, something like that last week against, 31 points against the Browns last week. And the Bills put up 35 points against the Patriots defense. I understand the Browns defense is good, but the Bears putting up 31, I think the Bills offense is better than the Bears. I know the Bears is a great offense, but I'd say Josh Allen, he seems to be figuring out. They came back in the second half of that Patriots game. I think the Bills are the much better team here, so pretty simple. I'll take the Bills to get this one done. Chargers-Cowboys, this feels like a weird kind of trap game. Like, this feels like a Cowboys game that they could very well win. The Cowboys actually favored by 2.5 here. I feel like I keep knocking the Chargers. I promise I don't hate the Chargers, but this is just a very tough game. Do I really think the Cowboys lose twice in a row at home? This is typically a very good home team. Now, the Chargers did eliminate the Chiefs from the playoffs last week. The Chargers are 10-4 right now. They're in a great spot in the AFC playoff race. But I don't know what's telling me this, but like I said, I don't know if I see the Cowboys winning or losing 2 games in a row at home. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Cowboys in this one. I originally had the Chargers. I do think they're the much better team, but this feels like a kind of a letdown spot for the Chargers. The Cowboys are still technically alive for the playoffs. They need a lot of things to go their way. They're going to have to win out, and I think they do here. I think CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens really get going. The Vikings defense was giving them trouble all night. They were sending a blitz. I don't think the Chargers defense is still one of the best in the league, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they have, Brian Flores cooking up a crazy defensive game plan like he did last week for the Vikings. Like I said, the Chargers definitely the better team here, but the Cowboys get it at home. This feels like a weird spot for me. Cowboys favored as well. Something's not right here. I'm going to take the Cowboys at home. I don't see them losing at home twice in a row. The Chiefs-Titans typically this would be a Chiefs win pretty easily here, but the Titans have kind of been playing better as of recently. They put up 24 points against the Niners last week. They put up 31 against the Browns. Those are 2 pretty solid defenses. I know the Niners are a little beat up defensively, but Cam Ward, Tony Pollard's been really getting going. I think Tajay Spears is getting involved. Obviously, the main thing here is Mahomes tore his ACL, so he's done for the season. What does the motivation look like for the Chiefs now that they're eliminated officially from the playoffs? Like Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, veterans like that. Like, how motivated are they with really nothing to play for at this point? I could see the Titans winning this one, but I'm just going to take the Chiefs. Gardner Minshew is the Chiefs' backup. He typically plays the Titans pretty well. He's seen them before. He's played here before because he used to be on the Jags, obviously. I think he was on the Colts at one point too. So, and the Chiefs' defense is still really solid. I know the Titans, like I said, have been putting up some numbers against some pretty solid defenses, but I don't know. I feel like the Chiefs win this one. I feel like it would negatively impact the Titans, honestly, more to win this game because they're obviously trying to get a higher draft pick just so they can see what to do there. But I will say Cam Ward, Tony Pollard, they've been getting going offensively. I think the Chiefs, though, with Gardner Minshew have enough. But this one, is probably going to be a really low-scoring, really ugly game, unless the Titans' offense continues to play well. In which, if they do, they probably could win this game. But I'm just going to go with the Chiefs. I want to see a full game before I really get a full picture on how this Gardner Minshew Chiefs team really looks. So I'm just going to go with the Chiefs. They're the safer option there, in my opinion. Bengals at Dolphins. If you showed me this one last week, I probably would have told you the Dolphins would have won, because I would have kept in mind, well, if the Dolphins beat the Steelers, they'd still have a chance for the playoffs. They actually have a decent chance to get in, and with a win here, it would put them at an even better chance. But now they lost to the Steelers. They looked really bad in that game until the end. They kind of started stat padding, made the score look a little better than it truly was. And obviously the big news today, Tua Tagovailoa is benched. Mike McDaniels has confirmed Quinn Ewers will be the starter for this game. Really interesting stuff. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like this is a game the Dolphins could have very well won. I probably would have picked the Dolphins anyways if Tua was playing. I just don't know what's going on with the Bengals. They put up 0 points last week against the Ravens. T. Higgins has been injured pretty much. He's been in and out of the lineup, it feels like, every week. 1 week he plays, 1 week he doesn't. Joe Burrow's going out saying all this stuff. I honestly probably would take the Dolphins, but with Quinn Ewers in there starting, I can't pick the Dolphins. I'll take the Bengals here. If it was Tua, I'd probably pick the Dolphins at home. Dolphins typically play much better at home than they do on the road, especially in the cold weather at this time of the year. But Cincinnati's favored by 3.5. I wonder if that line has changed at all. I wonder what it opened at. It opened at Bengals minus 1.5, so the Bengals were still favored, but obviously that line is going to continue to grow, because I just don't know how good Quinn Ewers really is. I'm surprised they didn't go with Zach Wilson either. They have him on the team as well. I think Achane, though, he could potentially just win the Dolphins this game. This Bengals defense is so bad, and Achane just continues to impress me. I feel like people don't talk about him enough as one of those elite running backs in the league, but he is definitely up there. And I think that, you see backup QBs kind of sometimes when they come in just kind of default to their best option, so maybe Waddle gets involved. I don't really know, though. He's been pretty iffy the past few weeks. Darren Waller got going last week, though. Maybe he continues to keep going, but like I said, I just don't know what to expect from Quinn Ewers. But Achane, I would expect him to have a monster game, but I don't think it's enough. I think the Bengals win. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Jets-Saints, kind of an interesting one here. The Saints defense has actually been playing a whole lot better the past few weeks. This has been a top 10 defense in the league. They're figuring something out. Kellen Moore has been calling some pretty good. He's having some pretty good play calling over there. The Eagles obviously miss him. He was their OC in the past. Now he's the head coach over here at the Saints. Tyler Shuck's actually been pretty good. The Saints are coming off back-to-back wins against division opponents. They beat the Panthers last week, who are tied for first with the team that the Saints beat the week prior, the Buccaneers. So the Saints beat both the Bucs and the Panthers. Both those teams are tied for the top of this division, like I said, and they are playing, so we'll get to that. I think the Saints are actually playing pretty solid right now at home. I'm going to go ahead and take them. They've been getting a little bit hot. Makes me interested to see what they do with Tyler Shuck in the future, and I don't think the Jets really have much going for them. Brady Cook was in last week. Who knows if it's going to be Tyrod Taylor? I don't think Fields is likely going to come back. The Jets are dealing with so much injuries, and even when healthy, they're not a great team anyways. The Saints have been getting it going. Chris Olave is still over there. Devin Neal's been doing pretty solid, so I like the Saints at home. The defense is playing amazing right now, and I like the offensive play calling. So all signs are pointing Saints for me. They're only favored by 4.5. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they covered that, because I think their defense is playing amazing right now. The Giants got, it wasn't great last week against the Commanders. They win they lose 29-21, but it was 22-7 at halftime. The Commanders were dominating this game for a long time. The Giants did try to come back at the end, but this Vikings defense has been so hot as of recently. They're playing a top 5 defense right now in the past month or two. Brian Flores just continues to make great game plans. He's an insane defensive coach. And, he really, the Cowboys offense has been one of the best offenses in the league all season. And he did a pretty good job. I don't see rookie QB Jackson Dart really doing much here. I think the Vikings defense just dominates him the whole game. Maybe they get to him. They were sacking Dak a lot in that game. They were getting a lot of pressure on him. I think it's kind of a similar thing here with the Giants. This is probably going to be a defensive game, but I think the Vikings win. They just went into AT&T Stadium, beat the Cowboys. I think they should be able to beat the Giants here as well. But J.J. McCarthy starting to show some flashes, kind of similar with Tyler Shuck. I'm interested to see what they do with him once the season's done because he's been really bad as well. But he has shown some flashes, so we'll see what they do. But I do think the Vikings win this one. I also think just overall they are better, but defensively it should be enough to get them this win. Everybody on the Bucs here, I'm surprised nobody took the Panthers at home. Both these teams at 7-7, fighting for first in the NFC South. We got a lot of divisional games for first in the division. Bears, Packers, Rams, Seahawks Thursday night. We got this game. Like, there's a lot of great games this week, and it makes it very hard for me to pick. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if the Panthers win. They typically play better against good teams. Like, they beat the Packers, they beat the Rams. Like, they beat some really good teams this year, but they've also lost to some really bad teams. This Panthers team, full of ups and downs. Kind of same thing with the Bucs. The Bucs are really down right now, though. I've been saying that the Bucs have got to figure it out. Like the past few weeks, I've been saying the Bucs, I think they're going to go on a run at the end of the season, kind of figure it out. And I keep waiting for the week. Maybe this is it, but I've said this for the past like 4 or 5 weeks now. I'm kind of getting tired of it. I think I'm going to give them one last chance. I do think the Bucs are more consistent. I trust them more. But like, I mean, maybe it's just a lock-in spot where they sold that game against the Falcons last week, Thursday night. Mike Evans was really upset. The coach was really upset. He was going off on his players, like not great looks there, but maybe that lights a spark. Maybe that motivates them to go into Carolina, win this game. And like I said, the Panthers do play well against the better teams, it seems like, but the Bucs really haven't been playing all that good. So could you even classify the Bucs as that? I don't know. I think the Bucs do enough offensively to get this win. Yeah, the Panthers are just really hard for me to get behind, really hard for me to trust. But if they win this game, they're in a really good spot to win their division. So we'll see what happens. I do think the Bucs get the win here, though. Jaguars, Broncos, 2 playoff teams right now in the AFC. Both these teams have double-digit wins. The Broncos sitting at 12-2. The Jaguars sitting at 10-4. Trevor Lawrence went off last week. He was doing amazing. ETN had like 3 touchdowns. They put up 48 points on the Jets. It was against the Jets. They were stat padding a little bit. But the more impressive thing for me, the Broncos go out against Green Bay. Put up 34 points against that Green Bay defense. Micah Parsons was in that game for a long time, and that Green Bay defense is one of the better ones in the league. The Packers were actually winning that game, but Bo Nix settled down. Sutton really got going. I think R.J. Harvey got a little beat up, so we'll see if he's healthier. Honestly, this is probably one of those games where, it's 2 really good teams. Maybe the Jaguars can turn them over, but, and the defense has been a lot better. They're not as reliant on turnovers as they were at the start of the season, but I'm just going to go ahead and take the home team. Both these teams are playing amazing right now, though, but I think the Broncos are overall better as well. I trust them a little bit more. I think offensively, these 2 teams are pretty similar, and defensively, I'd probably lean with the Broncos, but these are 2 very similar teams in my eyes. Like, both the Broncos are one of the best defenses in the league, though, and I think that's enough. I think they can maybe turn over Trevor Lawrence a time or 2, and I think offensively they're going to make enough plays, especially with it being at home here. If this was in Jacksonville, I may consider going with the Jags, but in Bronco, in the altitude, in Denver, in the altitude, I'll take the Broncos. Moving on, though, next game, Falcons-Cardinals. This is a tough one to predict. Even though this game's, meaningless, obviously this game doesn't matter. Both of these teams have been eliminated from the playoffs for quite some time. The Falcons sitting at 5-9. The Cardinals sitting at 3-11. The Cardinals, at certain points, have actually looked pretty solid, though, with Jacoby Brissett. They played some good teams pretty close. But I don't know if I can pick them. And I don't know if I can pick the Falcons. They just gave up 40 points to the Texans. The Falcons just went into Tampa. Kirk Cousins led the comeback. They got the win. I think Bijan and Tyler Algier really get going in this game. The Cardinals' defense has been absurd. Sorry, not absurd. Absurdly bad against stopping the run. I think Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson probably have a good game here. Kyle Pitts was amazing last week. So was Trey McBride. So a little bit of a tight end matchup here to watch. I think Trey McBride continues. Kyle Pitts, I don't know. It sounds like Drake London's probably going to be back. I think the Falcons have too many playmakers. I think they do win. They just beat the Bucs last week, so got to give them the respect. But Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride, like some of these guys for the Cardinals have actually been pretty solid, but it sounds like the Falcons are getting healthier, and it sounds like the Cardinals, I mean, they just lost Bam Knight for the season. Like, obviously they lost Kyler a while back. Like, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball, so I don't love that. The Falcons trending upwards with the injuries, the Cardinals trending downwards, so I'll take the Falcons to win this one. I think they have enough playmakers, but both these teams, I wouldn't be shocked if they fired their coaches at the end of the season, and I wouldn't be shocked if both these teams make some pretty big changes as well. Especially the Cardinals. Like Kyler Murray, I don't know how much longer. The Falcons may keep Penix. We'll see. I'd assume they would, but definitely coaching changes. Wouldn't be shocked if both these teams do make those. 2 8-6 teams. It's crazy that the lines are 8-6. The Steelers, this is kind of where they finish every year. This feels like a game where, Steelers coming off a pretty dominant win Monday night against the Dolphins. The Lions get this one at home. This is a must-win, more of a must-win game for the Lions than the Steelers, because the Steelers still do have a one-game lead for the AFC North over the Ravens. The Ravens have a tough game as well against the Patriots. This feels like a must-win game for the Lions. If the Lions lose this game, they might, I'm not sure, but they might be eliminated from the playoffs. That's how good the NFC has been. I don't want to confirm that or anything, but I mean, I'll go ahead and look right now. The Lions are sitting at the 8 seed. They're 1.5 games back of the Packers right now. Like, the Lions need this game. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions go out and really, blow this team out. Is that crazy to say? I think the Lions are the much better team. Their offense really got going last week against the Rams. They just couldn't get a stop on defense. I think against Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers' offense is nowhere near the Rams' offense. The Steelers' defense, I mean, I'd say the Rams' defense is better as well. The Lions get this one at home, favored by 7 as well. That's a pretty big line for two teams with the same record. I think the Lions, I wouldn't be shocked if they blow them out. Like I said, I think Gibbs, too many weapons, St. Brown's, Jameson Williams has been amazing recently, so I like the Lions at home here. Raiders-Texans, I mean, do we really have to talk about this? The Raiders played the Eagles defense last week, who is one of the best defenses in the league, put up 0 points. I had to break it to you. The Texans are the best defense in the league. I would say the Texans offensively have been playing better than the Eagles as of recently. The Texans put up 40 points last week. The Texans are getting really hot right now. The Texans sitting at, 9-5? I'm not sure where they stand in the AFC playoff race. Yeah, they're the 7 seed right now, and it makes sense. They've been playing amazing recently. I don't see that slowing down in the slightest. I think they win this game at home big defensively. The Raiders just aren't going to be able to do anything here. I mean, Kenny Pickett was in last week. It sounds like Geno Smith may be back, but he wasn't good when he played, in all fairness, and the Texan defense is just inevitable right now, so I'll take the Texans at home. Not going to think about that one at all. This one makes you think Patriots-Ravens. The Ravens actually favored by 3 at home here. I don't know why. I think it was Matthew. He didn't send me his pick for this game, so we'll get that all sorted out, but he's not going to be on here, but we'll give our picks. The Patriots at 11-3, the Ravens at 7-7, and the Ravens favored. I know they're at home. They looked really good last week, 24-0 against the Bengals, but did we forget the Patriots were dominating that first half against the Bills? I know they kind of collapsed. I know the Ravens looked a lot better, but it is the Bengals. The Bengals defense isn't good. 24 points, that's not some crazy number, and it is good that they shut them out. The Ravens defense has been playing a lot better. I mean, Derrick Henry and Lamar did look better last week, but Lamar still doesn't look right in my opinion. I think the Patriots are just the much better team here. I'm not sure why the Ravens are favored by 3. Typically, when you see a line like this, when you're not sure about it, it seems a little ridiculous. Usually, Vegas knows what they're talking about, but I'm just going to go against it for here because, in my opinion, the Patriots are just the much better team. I wouldn't be shocked if, the Steelers lose. Then their Ravens fans get a little excited, favored in this game Sunday night at home, and the Patriots just go out and win, and the Ravens are still a game back of the Steelers for the division. Wouldn't be shocked. I think the Patriots are just much better, in all honesty. I think defensively they're better. I think offensively, at this point, they're better. Drake May's still playing out of his mind. The defense has been playing very well. I know they gave up 35 points against the Bills, but you look at some of the point totals they've been giving up the past few weeks, yes, 35 against the Bills, but 15 to the Giants, 20 to the Bengals, 14 to the Jets, 23 to the Bucks, 23 to the Falcons, 13 to the Browns, 13 to the Titans. I know some of these offenses aren't great, but there's some good offenses sprinkled in there. The Bengals, the Buccaneers, I don't know. I think this Patriots defense is still pretty solid, so I think they do enough to get this one and get this win here. And then Monday night, the final game of the week, 49ers go into Indy to take on the Colts. The Colts believe it or not, we're actually in that game with the Seahawks. I think that was mostly just because of Indy's defense. Like theirs is a really good defense. They were, like I said, I think the Seahawks offense may just be figured out at this point. And the Niners, like, they give up a lot of points defensively to the Titans. It makes you think maybe Phillip Rivers, because he is going to start this game as well. It's crazy. Maybe he can go out and put up some more points this week, but it was really just screens and checkdowns all game last week. He really didn't look all that great. He was kind of stumbling. He's 44 years old. What are you going to do? But he didn't look good to me. The Niners are still a really good team. I feel like they're like the forgotten team. This Niners team is 10-4, guys. I know defensively they've dealt with a lot of injuries. Same thing with the offense, but they still have CMC, Brock Purdy, George Kittle. Like, this core has made Super Bowls before, and I know the defense isn't the same, but I don't know. I think against Phillip Rivers, it really doesn't scare me. I think the Niners win. 6.5-point favorites. I'll take the Niners even on the road here. But that's going to do it for the Week 16 NFL game predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you get down there, leave a like, comment down below what you agree, what you disagree with my predictions. Love to debate down there. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the noties if you are new. We're posting college basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and NBA every Thursday. Once again, thank you so much for watching. But with all that being said, that is going to do it. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode of NBA Playoff Watch.